Hello, how's everyone doing tonight? Be sure to say hi when you pop on. So you are joining Sandy Ledoux from Doux Designs. And we're gonna do this puppy tonight. I thought I already had him printed out and I was just going to use that, but I guess that I don't. So we're going to have to stamp it. So what I wanted to tell you is we're going to use this stamp set. Say hi when you pop on so I can make sure comments are working, because Tuesday night, the comments stopped working halfway through and I missed everybody's information. So we're going to color up this puppy pretty quick tonight, and then we're going to use the paper pad. We're going to use the wood side because I think that's perfect for Doghouse. And these are all the dies that come with the Scrappy Boy Doghouse A2 gift card holder. Now, Scrappy Boy's stamps don't have the instructions like on the back or anything. So, but they do have YouTube videos that you can watch to figure out like how it all goes together. But tonight you won't have to do that because I'm going to show you how it works. So I've already cut everything, so you won't have to wait for that. But I haven't cut these cute, look at these extra little dies. I haven't cut these yet, but if we decide we want to use them, we'll be cutting them on my little mini cutter. But look at this little dog bowl. And this is the food that goes in the dog bowl, so it looks like he's got some yummy food. So we can play with those as well, but I'll explain to you what you need to cut, and I've already cut them out. So we will go through them as soon as we get to that point. But first, I need to stamp this little guy so we can color it. And unfortunately, I'm not seeing. Oh, there we go. Good. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you for commenting. How are you tonight? Are you excited for this dog gift card holder? It's so cute. It looked complicated to me at first. It's really not, but it feels overwhelming when you first see it. Stamped one or two of everything just in case. Haha. This live is only on Facebook, right? It is right now, yes. It's only on Facebook Live, and then I upload it to YouTube so you can watch it again if you need to later, because Facebook only keeps them for like, I think 30 days, and then they delete them. Hi, Irene. And I just don't want you guys to not be able to see the videos afterwards. So I upload them to YouTube. I do want to start doing part on Facebook and part on YouTube, but I'm not quite there yet. I'm still working on that. So I think we're going to do sending you cuddly hugs and tail wags because we're going to need a sentiment, so we might as well stamp that at the same time for our cute, cute, cute little gift card holder. Now, when I went to the expo in Mesa recently, I did not know that Scrappy Boy had this die until I walked into the booth to shop. And I was so excited because I knew that I had this stamp set coming or had just released it. And I was like, that is going to be so great for me because I need it to go with my puppies because they're just so cute. And gift cards, I mean, some people don't give gift cards, but I certainly do. Although I am going to show you how to make this into a card as well. So you could make it a Doghouse card without the gift card holder if you want. So I like that it's universal and you can do it either way. So I will explain both ways when we get to that part. there's little variations you can make yourself if your mind works that way, to be able to change up Sean's dies. That's why I like them so much, because I've been able to, you know, work with them and change them up and make them so different, and I just love that. So yes, it's always available on YouTube. The only time one of them gets missed on YouTube is if there's a glitch with Facebook and they won't let me download the video. And I've had that happen a couple of times. Not a lot, but just a couple. If it was something like this, I would do another video and just upload the new video if I can't get that one. But for the most part, I could just download it. I usually do it immediately after we do the live. I download it right away, upload it to YouTube. Sometimes I post it immediately, and sometimes I post it, I set it scheduled to post at like 5 a.m. because a couple of people on YouTube said if you schedule your video, sometimes it gets more views that way, because YouTube has a chance to preview it before they set it out to everybody. And if they have a chance to view it first, then they can target the right people. So sometimes I delay them, sometimes I don't, just whatever my mood is at the moment. Okay, we have two options now with this little guy right here. Like, we can make him all black, or we can make him black and white, or we could use brown, you know. If you guys have a suggestion, I would love to hear it. I think, Beth, are you trying to color with me? What blacks do you have if you are? Do you have C's, N's, T's, or W's? And I'll make sure I pull. I was going to use C's, so you can let me know if you have those, and I will start pulling them right now so I can... Oh, the soda press. I know, I love that thing. You guys know I use it all the time. Even when I went to the expo, I used it a lot in class. And a lot of people were asking about it because it helps when you rub it on the back of your paper to get the glue to really hold tight. And I just love that. I think it's priceless. Okay, I think we'll give him blue eyes too. So while I'm waiting to see if you guys want to comment anything, I'm going to pull blue for the eyes. And they're tiny, so we don't need a whole lot. So I'm just going to grab like maybe two blues, and then we'll just use the colorless blender with it. So here's what I got right now. I have C9, 7, 6, and 5. 9, 7, 6, and 5. Like they're upside down. C9, 7, 6, and 5. And then I also have C3, 1, and 0, 0. So this will be for like the white area, and this will be for like the black area of the dog. And then for the eyes, I just pulled B18 and B02. Just two colors for now. And then we'll go ahead and get him colored up real quick so we can move on to doing the little doggy house. I think I'm going to grab my 100. So for those of you that don't know, there's a 100 and a 110 in Copics. And the 100 is cool black, and the 110 is warm black. Oh, nice. Watercolor pencils. Awesome. Okay, so that's why we pulled this one, because we're using the C's. So it works really good. So I wanted to pull the black color because I want to do the little nails and the nose first in the black colors. And I forgot to say, I need R11 for his ears. So I need to pull that one as well. There we go. Now we just have 3, 6, 9, 12 markers. We're going to do this whole thing with 12 markers. So I'm going to do the little nails first. They are tiny, but if you hold your marker upright, you can put in the color in the little nails, or you can leave them white, whatever works best for you. I know I just refilled this marker. I better take that cap off. And there we go. So there's no sense in doing any kind of shading. These are way too small for that. It's just, and you could use a multi-liner if you wanted, if you thought that would be easier because it has a smaller tip. That's entirely up to you. I'm kind of used to these, so it doesn't bother me to use them versus the multi-liner. So either way works for me. Okay, so that is the only stuff that I'm going to use this 100 on. I don't want to use much more dark than that. And I'm going to grab my Copic holder so you guys can see the numbers that I'm working on, because if I don't have it out, sometimes I tend to put them off to the side and you can't see what I'm doing. So let me just pull that out so you can see. It holds 6 markers and 2 caps in the front, so you guys can see the caps. I use it a lot when I'm doing the lives. I don't use it quite as much unless I'm traveling or going to a class. Otherwise, I just don't use it at home. I just throw them all over my desk because I don't have chow and they don't make a mess, and you know how that goes. So I'm going to start off like I did with the cat that we did on Tuesday night. Remember when we did the cat? Maybe it was last week that we did it. And it looks like this. Remember when we did this one, we started with the darkest color and then worked our way out from there. We're going to do that tonight as well. So with C9, I'm going to choose wherever I want the dark color to be. You need to color her Emma style. I think Emma would be this one. Would be the boxer. Don't you think? So I'm going to start with some black on this little one's ear. And then I'm going to put some under here. So this is just random. No dogs look the same. They all look different. So you put your dark color wherever you want. Just follow the same process that I'm doing. So what I'm doing is just choosing areas on the puppy that I want to be the darkest black. So I'm going to do a little bit of like a half face kinda. So I'm gonna put a little bit on this side of his face, but I'm gonna go down to his nose. So you don't want to fill it all in because we are going to be shading around it. And I'm going to do this underside of the eye over here too. So this side's going to be the side that has the most black on it, and the other side is going to be more white, except for this little cheekbone right here. And then I don't know if you know, but I have, like, whenever I see these dogs, they always seem to have like a lot of dark, like right around their mouth. So I'm going to add that right around this little one's mouth. And then I'm going to finish the nose with this color because I want the nose to stay really dark. But don't worry, we'll lighten, you know, we'll put some highlight on there. Okay, now we have to choose where else we want this to be. So I'm going to go with one paw being all black. So I'm going to start with this one. And we are going to actually color in the little paw. And it doesn't have to be like brush strokes or anything. Just get that dark color in there somewhere, okay? And then I'm going to come down back here and I'm going to add some going this way, and I'm not going to make it straight because you never know what it's going to look like. We're just going to give this almost like a spotted look, but not really. So you're just building where you want the darkest colors to be, and then the rest of it will work around it. So for this foot, I'm going to leave this foot white, and then this foot back here is going to have a teeny bit of black on it, and this one over here, I'm going to make it have like almost like stripes. I don't want them all to go in the same direction. Or this isn't like normal hair, like people hair, so I just want to get that color in there. And don't worry, when you use these markers and you have some of them, some of the lighter ones with the darker ones, they'll build texture if you do them in the right order. So don't worry about that. We'll get to that point here in a few minutes. So right now, just the base color black, whatever you want in there. Notice I left a little bit of white in there, so it'll be a little lighter in that area. It's just giving it that unique look. So nobody's little Frenchie dog should look the same. And then tonight, my daughter sent me a picture of a friend of hers who's giving away a puppy. It's all black, but it looks just like this. It's so cute. She's like, do you want it? I was like, I do, but I can't. Your dad doesn't want any dogs. So I had to say no, but so cute. Okay, so C7, that's our next color. We're going to use this one, and then we're going to switch to the white, okay? So we're just going to go around these edges where we put this other color, the darkest color, and we're just going to extend it a little bit. So a little bit around here, just a little bit further than where we originally put the first bit of black. This is just so that that it'll blend better when we get to the white. So that's what we're doing. I'm not going to do this center because then it will just be all black. So just going around the edges wherever I put the black and just building it out a little bit further. And it doesn't really matter if your puppy is more black or more white. You can do whatever you want. And I'm going to add just a little bit right here on the belly for the fun of it. Just because that makes it fun. Not for any other specific reason. I am going to kind of go around this and sort of fill in most of the little paw, but not all of it. I want to leave a little bit more for highlight so you can actually see the little paw areas. I don't want to wash them out with this black being so dark. And I'm going to put a little bit under here, kind of to say like that what I started on the belly here, like this is a spot. You just can't see it because of his other hand, his other paws in the way. Okay, I feel pretty good with that. I might want to add, you just got back, looking forward to watching this again tomorrow and using this stamp. I know, Angela, I didn't know you were going to be on here. I would have done him a little more like Kona, but it'll be close enough. So this little puppy, I used pictures of Angela's puppy Kona to draw this little puppy. So he kind of is in the likeness of Kona. So cute. Oh, we're going to switch to the lighter color now. So I did the darkest, second to the darkest, and now I'm going to go to the darkest of the light colors, meaning C3, C1, C00 are the light colors. Hey, Angela, how was Oz at the Sphere? I'm dying to know. I hope you could take pictures. I bet you couldn't, but I was hoping you could. Okay, so I'm just going to add some of this in a few places where I'm going to want some of that lighter color to be. So some will be close to this black and some will not. So over here on this side, I'm going to add a little bit of this. And then since this is darker over here, I'll probably have a little bit over here. And then I definitely want to go a little bit under the chin and on the lip. Just a little bit. Now we can do this center part here for right now. And then I want some right here. And I want some right here. And honestly, this is just random. You just have to play with it and decide what you like best. You just try a few. Oh, yay. Thank you. I'll be excited to see those videos. So right now he looks like a big hot mess, but don't worry. It's going to look okay when we get done. Okay. So now I'm going to go to the C1 and we're going to finish out the light areas of the puppy. So I'm going to grab this pink one real quick so I can get this in there, this R11, because I really just want it right inside these ears. And it's pretty dark, so I want to be able to lighten it up with these next couple of colors. So C1 is our next color, and that was R11 in case you missed it. And what I'm going to do is kind of go around the edges of the pink and around the inside of the ear with this C1. Just because I'm going to need to blend that all out here in a few minutes. And don't forget, we still have 2 of the gray colors to make the medium gray. So I'm going to extend out from where the light gray is. I'm not going to do any of the black. I'm just going to add wherever I want the light gray to be. So we can soften that up before we use the lightest color. So this is where the blending kind of starts to happen just a little bit. But the true finishing it up will happen when we get to those last 2 gray colors. But the reason that I switch to the light from the dark colors to the light before I'm finished blending out the dark colors is because I want to make sure I give myself enough space to have the white on the puppy. And I've noticed my tendencies are, if I don't do this section right now, then I'll put more black than I wanted to in the image, and you can't undo the black. So that is why I switch it right in the middle of it. So what I mean is we started with the 9 and the 7, and then we switched to the 3 and the 1. And now we're going to do the 0, 0, but we still have these 2 left, 6 and 5, and that's what's going to do the softening and the texturing when we get to those last 2. So don't go away and miss that part, because that's important. Okay, here's the C00. This one's really light, almost like a white, like a clear, like the colorless blender. And I'm going to go over the pink to soften that up a little bit. Anything that's not quite soft enough, we can definitely soften up with the colorless blender. So I'm not too worried about that right now. I just want to soften those areas. So anywhere I put the C1, I'm going in and just softening those edges. Like this area right here, there's not going to be any black in here. So I'm going to soften all of that up with this marker. Now I know there's transition between that, but we're going to do that with the next marker, and it's okay to go over the lighter color. That's why we switch, so we can still build out from our darker color. So anywhere there's white left, I'm going to start building in this color right here. Anywhere I want to lighten up later, I'm going to use the colorless blender, because it'll work really well on this area. You'll see. Just stick around and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's kind of hard to wrap around your mind if you've never seen it work in motion, but just trust me. Trust me, trust me. Okay. Now we're going to switch back to C6, okay? C6 is going to be lighter than the other ones, but still a little dark, so we're not going to use a whole lot of it. We're just going to soften those spaces where we stopped on with the black. Just softening those edges up a little bit. Want to make sure we don't have any lines around there. So I kind of want this to connect right there. So I'm going to build that in underneath the eye and kind of around the eye. Want that to stay sort of dark because this is going to be the black side of his face. So I'm just softening that up, and you can already tell it's starting to really soften and show a little bit of texture, and it's the colorless blender that's in this marker with that highly pigmented color that makes it look like that. Not all the colors do that, but definitely the grays do it. So you can definitely play around with texture just using the gray markers. Now, I want to put a little bit around the mouth just so it kind of stands out a little bit more. So I may make that gray in the end when I get to my next marker. So I don't want to put too much there, but I do kind of want to soften this up. Can I darken that ear a little bit? I kind of want to extend this down just a tad. And now we're going to move to the body. So this area right here. Just going to bring these out and kind of soften that edge. Notice I spend a little bit of time playing around that edge to get that line to go away because I don't want you to be able to see the lines between the black and the gray. So I'm going to stick around in those areas for just a little while so you can actually see them. I bet this would look really good in the watercoloring that she was talking about earlier. And this is the marker that I'm going to go ahead and touch the whole part of the feet. So I have that 1 foot colored in. Just want to make sure I touched all those places. I know that was the 3, so I don't want to touch that yet. Okay, so starting to come together a little bit. This one, and then we'll probably do the colorless blender after this one to bring it all together. But this one will be very helpful to us. So C5, this is the one that's going to meet between our lightest color and our darkest color. So we are going to have to bring in another marker to soften up those edges a little bit more. But as you can see, this marker pushes the ink around a lot more than the other one does. So it really starts to lighten up on those edges. So I'm kind of going around those same edges that I did before. Just to start building that, loosening that color up just a little bit. Now we're going to do this one. I'm not extending much further because I don't want there to be too much gray versus white. So I'm kind of going over those edges again and going just a tad bit further. Not too much. I'm going to work that little spot right there a little bit. And I'm going to work this one. And we're going to come in here. Kind of fill in that little part of his mouth. Hey, Mom. I'm going to do around the edges of this one. And this one. And then we're going to do a little around the belly, because we have a little spot of black on the belly. And now all we have to do is soften up between our black and our white. And I'm going to do that with the colorless blender. So I'm going to start in the lightest area and push back into the dark color, okay? That way it'll soften that edge and sort of build a little bit of texture. You see how that worked out really nicely. This one, same thing. Anywhere there's a harsh line, we're gonna work on it. If we wash out the color too much, we can always come back in and add a little bit more. Gonna soften this right here. I'm okay with that being a little bit lighter. We'll probably have to come back in with our C00 just to make that come together right. But we're almost there. See how much better that looks if you just soften those edges? We're going to do that on this side. We got to do that up here. I think because we have the pink in here and I use the 3 instead of the 1 around the edges, it takes a little bit to work those areas, and it's washing out the C1 or C00 that I have in there. So I'm going to come back in one more time with that one. But as you can see, it's moving that ink around and it's softening that up. I want this to look a little more jagged than straight, so I'm going to work some of the spots because this is not really a blender, it's really a shifter, a mover of color. So I'll be able to change the direction of those little edges. I'm not going to touch his nose at all. Then we're going to soften here. And we're kind of pushing back into that black from the white. And that's why I love this colorless blender. I have 2 of them because I have to refill them all the time because I use them so much. I do have a few other colors that I have 2 of because I use them so much. Some are skin tones. Some are my favorite purples. I make it look so easy. It is easy. You just have to practice. You got it. I know you can do it, Angela. I know you can. If you're not busy this weekend, I could come over and we could play. I pre-warned Dale there might be a movie night. So up against this light color and up against this one, and we want to finish out the little toes. These little toes are white. We don't want to touch the nails because we really want them to stay black. And then we're going to push that one back in. Now we're getting a lot of black on the tip of our marker, and if you feel you need to wipe it off, you can. And you'll want to wipe it off before you close the marker. But I usually just use it to push back into the color. I don't have any issues with mixing up the colors a bit. There we go. And then this area right here, I wanted there to be a little bit of a white spot. So I'm just going to play in that area for a minute or two just to kind of lighten that up. Now, if you put a lot of colorless blender in there, you see how that moved everything like out of that spot? When it starts to dry, some of it is going to move back because the paper is so wet. So if it more moves back than you want, you can always go back in with the marker after you give it a chance to dry a little bit.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Dale's here. So this little spot right here, when I was pushing the color, kind of pushed that black out of the lines. So I'm just going to use this colorless blender to push it right back in there. And now see how much softer he looks just playing with those colors. I'm going to go back in with my C00. This one will have a little bit of gray on it. And I'm just going to touch in a couple of the areas where I felt like it needed just a little bit more gray with it instead of just white. There's not that many, there's just a few little areas. And I'm just double checking to make sure I'm pretty happy with all my little areas. And I think I'm pretty happy with that. I think he looks super cute. Angela said hello. They're all saying hello to you now. Hee hee. Oh, thanks, Beth. I'm loving that you're coloring with me. I like it when people color with me. It makes me happy. Okay. Now, I feel pretty good about my little puppy, so I'm going to leave him like that. And then I'm going to do his eyes, and I have B18 and B02, so just 2 colors. And you can choose whether you want the dark to be on the bottom or the top. I feel like I need it on the top because he has heavy little eyebrows, and he needs to have it on the top. So I'm just going to be filling out the darkest color on the top up here. It already looks cute. And then I'm going to use the B02, and I'm going to go along that edge to soften that harsh line, just like that. I'm going to leave a little bit of white in there, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with that and why I'm leaving just a teeny bit of white here in just a minute. So just spreading those down just a little bit. And it's a teeny tiny spot of white. It's not very big, it's just really tiny. But I'm going to use my colorless blender again, and I'm just going to lightly touch and soften that little line in between. It's going to lighten up the blue a little bit, and it's going to take away that harsh line, so it just looks like it's really, really light blue under the eyes. And I think that just makes him look super cute. I'm also going to go back one more time and push this color, because the paper was wet, back in the lines. You probably wouldn't see it when I cut it out anyway, but I'm just going to do it for grins. Now, in coloring the eyes like that, we kind of lost a little bit of the detail. So we're going to go back in with the multi-liner, this 0.25. And we're just going to put in that black again, because that's really what we're missing in there. And when we put that back in, the eyes are going to stand out just a little bit more than they did before. And I'm going to do that on both sides, just so we have. And that one I covered up the white, and that's okay because we can use the white gel pen to put it back in there. I'm also going to grab the colorless blender one more time, and I'm going to kind of just lighten a little bit on this nose, like right where the little nostrils would be. I don't know if it really make a whole lot of difference, but I kind of think it'll be cute to be able to see a little bit around the nose. I'm just kind of working where just to give it a little bit light. See how it just a teeny bit of lightness shows? You need the Oops pen. You need the colorless blender. It's so great. It really does take care of any oopsies, which I love. Okay, we're going to cut him out before we actually do the white gel pen, and then we'll build the Doghouse gift card holder from Scrappy Boy. And while the white gel pen is drying, so hang in there. It won't take me that long to cut this one. Remember, when you fussy cut, move the paper, not the scissors, and it goes a lot faster. Also, don't be too worried about it. I mean, honestly, if you accidentally cut too far, as long as you don't cut it off, nobody's ever going to see it. I can't tell you how many times, and I'll even show you here in just a minute. I'll cut right into his paw so you can see. Oops. See how I cut into his paw right there? If I go back and cut around it, just like I was doing before, and just keep going. When I glue this down, you are never gonna see that. It's gonna press right down flat and you're never gonna see it. So don't stress too hard when you fussy cut. There are ways to fix the things that are messed up. So just an oopsies, but they can be fixed. So don't worry about that. Don't stress too hard on that. Also, if you're not exactly the same width all the way around, no one notices that. As long as if you want white, you have some white around it, it's fine. Nobody is going to analyze how big your little white stripe is. So sometimes I cut a little too far and I go, oh, dang it, I really wanted a little bit more white. But nobody's ever said anything, so they just don't notice. Because they're so distracted by the coloring that they don't even pay attention to the little tiny details in the fussy cutting. So don't stress. I know a lot of people stress about that. I don't cut on the line because I feel like it leaves I still can't get all of the white off of there. And sometimes I think it just looks a little messy. So I don't do that. But that is definitely a personal preference. So you can do it however you want. I'm going to use my super cute little brand new, yes, this is the size of my fingers. It is my new self-healing mat. I love it because it's purple and it's so cute. And I'm going to cut this one little tiny spot right here because it'll drive me crazy. For you, you don't really have to do this. Most people don't even notice it. It just bothers me, so I like to cut it out. And I still leave a little white around it, so it's not a big deal, and it only takes a second, so. But this thing is so cute. I love that thing. It was probably one of my favorite buys at the expo just because it's so cute. I mean, who doesn't like the stinking cute little stuff that we don't need on our desk? The little mat is adorable, I know. She had it in a couple of colors. I got it from the Tall Mouse, but I just couldn't help myself. Okay, my white gel pen, just gonna put the little whites back in his eyes. And then I'm going to put just a little bit on the nose, but not too much. I just want to put a little bit so you can see it. I might even just lighten up the nose a little bit. Let's see if I can get it to focus a little bit more. There we go. There he is. He's so cute. He looks sad, but he's happy. He's about to get his brand new doghouse. Okay, let's put him aside so his eyes can dry, and we'll build this doghouse. All right, let's pull these out. I'm going to pull these out, and then I'm going to zoom back out so you guys can see a little better. We should be leaving for home in 2 weeks. Well, it will be nice to have you back. Been gone so long. Okay, let's talk about the pieces that come in this set, because when you first get them, you're like, oh my goodness, this many pieces. So these are the pieces that it comes with. This is the roof for the house, and this is like the little step. These are for the doorway, and they gave you 2 options, and I'll talk about them when we get to that point. This is a die that goes right here. And you can use this for a lot of stuff. What it's going to do is just cut these openings so you can slide the gift card in. And I'll show you how that works in a few minutes, but that's what that is. And you can use that on anything. You don't even have to use it just on the Doghouse. Anytime you want to make a gift card out of a gift card holder, you can use this piece. So it's very, very helpful to have. Then there's the outside of the Doghouse, okay? And you do that one in solid color paper. So it's this piece right here, okay? And then inside that piece was this piece. It's a little bit smaller than this one, and this is what you would cut your matting paper in. So, oh, nope, that's not the one. Sorry. This one. There you go. That's your matte paper, okay? So whenever it has those, you can cut it in matte paper. Whenever it doesn't, cut it in solid. So then this piece right here, which was over here, I think. Not really sure how these were on here, but that's irrelevant. This one is the pattern paper that will go on top of this one. So again, with the dots, it's pattern paper. Each one of these has the stitch dots too. So I did those in pattern paper as well. So I was able to sit them on the Gemini all like this in the way that I wanted them to be. And then cut them out with the paper. And pattern paper, one shot, you're done. Okay? And then solid paper with these two. This is the one that you're going to build the place for the gift card holder to go into. So it's scored and cut, and this one is in solid paper too. So these two are your base dies right here, and these are all your accent dies. Okay, so let's see what we got here. I did a little variation. So I cut this one in solid, this one. If I can pick these up, you guys, my nails, I can't pick up stuff on the desk. This one in pattern paper. This one that looks like this house with the roof on it is the one that you cut in pattern paper. It's also the one that you put this on and then run it through, and then it gives you these pockets. And these pockets are where the gift card will slide in and hold it still, just like that. See? So one of those, and then this one is this one right here that we're going to fold up in just a minute. So this one cuts out and scores for you. So we have one of those. I actually cut two of these. So two of these, and I'll tell you why in a minute. And then as an extra one, just because I want to show you a different way to do this as well, I cut a solid piece out of this die right here. But when I put it on there, I folded the paper in half, and then I put it on there, and I put the die, let me just show you from the back. I put the die over top of the paper, but I slid it over to the side so it would not cut one side of this. So when you can open it up, and now it's actually a card, see? So I folded it over, and then I put this over like this, so it was past here, like this, and then it won't cut the fold line, so you can make it into a card. That little trick you can do with almost any die. Just don't cut that edge right there, okay? So I made this piece, and I'll show you what I'm going to use that for in just a moment. I also cut this piece in pattern paper because it had the little stitches around it. So I cut that one in pattern. And then there's a smaller one that looks just like this, but smaller, and somewhere it's, oh, here it is. I was like, somewhere it's on my desk, but I don't see it. It's solid, so I cut that one in the solid paper. And this is going to be the opening to our little our little doghouse. You could just cut that right into the paper and leave it open and then just put this inside, and you don't really have to use this one, but I like it, so I'm using it. I'm layering mine. Okay, so here we go. I also cut the roof die. Here's the roof die. And I cut the bottom piece. There's the bottom piece. So one of each of those as well. Now, let me put all those dies back there, and I'll show you how this little sucker goes together. So you really only need one of these, but I cut 2 of them. And I'm going to cut off these pieces on the edge. So I'll show you what I'm going to do with that in just 1 second. So I want this to be a card and a gift card holder. So in order to make it a card, it has to open. That's why I made this. And I need to have a backing for this, because when you put this over, it's smaller and it won't work as a backing. Because I moved the die, I shifted the die, so this piece is slightly smaller than this. So I had to cut 2 of these. What you do is we're going to fold this over, and this one, and this one. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to attach this to the back. That's going to make us a pocket. We need a pocket, okay? Just like that. So I'm going to use glue. You can use double-sided sticky tape. You can use whatever works for you, but I'm going to put my glue closest to the edge so it doesn't seep off inside and stick my 2 papers together. You guys know what I mean by that? Let me know if you don't, and I can go over that. But I'm going to put it closest to the edge of the outside of the card so I don't get any glue on the inside. And then I'm going to put these together, and I should have picked a different color because black is hard to see on my glass mat, but that's okay. We'll make do. All I'm going to do is just move this around until I get it layered on top of there almost perfectly. I want it to like really line up and not leave me any extra areas on the edges that are sticking out. So see how they're completely flat? That's what I want. I want this flat. I want everything flat. And then once I have that, I'm going to use the soda press to really push them together. Once I do this, I cannot take them apart without ripping the paper. So you want to make sure that you have it the way you want it before you do that, okay? This makes us a pocket. See our little pocket? Super cute. We need that pocket. Okay, let's put that pocket aside, and we're going to work on the back piece of the doghouse where the gift card is. Going to have to take that off. Now, if you don't have strong tape, you might want to use, if you don't have strong glue, you might want to use tape just to make sure this holds really well. But what we're going to do is we're going to put glue all the way around the outside. But you have to make sure you don't put any glue in this area that's supposed to lift up, okay? So we're really just putting it around the edge and then maybe straight down the middle. Because we don't want to glue our little flaps closed because we need them to hold our gift card. So just a little bit right here in the middle. And then up here at the top is fine. So we're going to take that, and we're going to take our other little doghouse piece, and there's a slight border around the whole thing, so we're going to lay it down where there's a little bit of a border. I'm going to shift this around so I can make sure I get it on there where it's supposed to be, up close to the top. The top is the part you're going to see the most, so I want that lined up real good. Then I'm going to press these down. And then before I use my press pop, I'm going to make sure that I can open up all of these little panels. Okay, they're pretty good. So I'm going to go around this edge and press this down. You could cut a bunch of these at one time and make a whole bunch of these. That would be so cute. And I love the wood paper. Works perfect with this. It makes me so happy. Okay. So this little piece, we're going, I haven't decided. They added this part, like in the instructions, they say add this part to this right now. But I don't know if I want to do that yet. So I'm going to wait because I don't know if I want it to be on the outside or the inside. So we're going to hold off on that for just 1 minute. Okay, this is our little pocket here. And what I wanted to do is this goes on top of this. There's a little bit of a border around that as well. And then this will slide in here. So I guess we do need to put that there. It'll slide in here and make our little house, right? But then it doesn't open as a card. It's just a gift card that pulls out. That's it. But if you wanted to make it into one that opened up so you could write something in it, then all you have to do is make this piece right here and attach it in between, either in between here. It's up to you wherever you want to put it. If you want it to open right at the front before you'll attach this one, and then it'll open up like this. Or you can put it behind it so that it goes behind the pocket and opens up on the back. So whichever way you want to do it. I want it to open on the front, so we're going to put it up here. Okay? So, but you can do it however you want. So I'm going to put glue all over this piece. This is not, this part is added on just because I like to have somewhere to write. If you used white, you wouldn't need it because you could just write on the back. But I used black, so I need a space to write who it's from and all that goodness. So I'm going to line that up. I'm going to make sure it meets at the bottom and isn't wonky. And then I'm going to use this. Christina, did you get this die when you were at the show? Or was I the only one that got it? Now we have this flap that opens up so we can write on the inside. We will have to cut a piece of paper to go in there though, because you can't write on black. And then I'm going to put glue on the front side of this because we're going to attach the pattern paper because I like pattern paper and that's what makes it fun and all the good things. Oops, we don't want to put the cats on there. Be chasing everybody around his doghouse. I'll be thinking, what is up? The cats took over my doghouse? That would be so bad. Okay, so we have it in there. It fits fairly close to the edge on the top and the bottom, just the way that I cut it out. But as long as it's not sticking out wonky on the top, I am happy with that. So now we have the open part if we want to do our card, okay? We have an opening. And then we have an open pocket here that this will go in to make our little doghouse. And now we get to decorate. So I think this is supposed to go down in, yeah, it's supposed to go down in a little bit further. There we go. So when we put this roof on, which I'm just going to glue on here, we'll put our pieces together here. I did not put this together yet. This is my first time. Oh, you see what I'm doing with the doghouse? It's the shape of the card. Yes, it's going to be, the doghouse is going to be the card. Yep. and it holds a gift card, because how great is that if you didn't have time to go buy a present or you don't know what to buy. Oops. Hey, don't be finicky on me here. Okay, I have it where I want it, so I'm going to rub it with this. That's a little bit off right there. With this one, get that on there really good. Then we have this part done. I'm going to put my gift card in it. This is an old gift card, doesn't have anything on it. So I'm going to put it in there. Just fits in there perfectly. You could put a sticky note on it if you didn't want to build a card out of it, but I'm not going to put it in there right now. I'm just going to sit that to the side because we still have to decorate the front. We have our dog and we have our little door opening that we want to put on there. And then if you want to add anything else, you can, like the little doggy bowl and all the stuff. So I'm going to add this little opening, kind of like the inside of his really cool doghouse. I'm going to put his door over to the side because he has a cool house. Kind of like the inside of his doghouse is all painted purple too. He's real slick and special like that. Now, I could leave it like that, but we're going to put this on it as well. Just looks like it's dark inside his doghouse. Poor guy. No light. No light in the doghouse. There's a slight border around it, so you can really do it in any color you want. Any way that you want. There's lots of opportunities for you to do it however you want. There we go. This is so cool, isn't it? Your cats sleep with your dog. Well, see, then yours wouldn't mind at all having cats on his house. So we can put this little guy right here. This is going to be so adorable. I'm not going to put any on his hind leg because I'm going to put him a little bit off the card. So we're going to add him right here. This is going to let his little hiney hang off the card a little bit. See? Just a little bit. You could cut it off if you want, but I don't want to cut off his hiney. I'm just going to leave it there. Oh, I forgot to put this piece on there. Well, anyway, this piece is supposed to be on there. But I forgot to put it on there, so it's not on there. But that's okay. Anyway, this is, if you want it to look like a doghouse like this, you'll want to put this piece on. I forgot. I'm okay with that. So maybe we'll put it on the inside of the card. Anyway, then this will slide in here. And you got to get it, I think I should do something about the way I put those flaps in there. Like, remember when I folded them over? Like, I probably should have folded them on the outside so they wouldn't get stuck. They get a little bit stuck in there. So you might want to consider that when you're making yours. But look at how cute that is. Oh my goodness. It's adorable. All right, we're also going to, I did cut out a sentiment that I want to add. And then we can do a little bit of decorating. We could also do like, oh, wouldn't it be cute if we just put this little dog bone on there? I'm going to need to cut that dog bone out, I think. We're going to need it. We're going to need it, you guys. We're going to need that dog bone. But I think we should cut the food bowl too. We could put the food bowl on the inside. But I want you to see how the little food looks in it. Because it's so cute. I mean, most of the time you get a doggy bowl, it's empty. You're giving your dog an empty bowl. How sad. Empty bowl of food. But this one actually has food you can put in it. So how fun is that? Let's see. I'm pretty sure I had some extra purple paper. So we'll do the little dog dish out of purple as well. And then we'll do the bone out of black and use our white gel pen to decorate it up. And I don't have to use the big one. I can use the little die cut machine right here. So I'm just going to use this excess paper. This is what I used to cut the doghouse, as you can see. I saved it so I could do the doggy bowl. So I'm just going to lay my doggy bowl on there. Let's tape it down. I have a piece of tape already out right here. So we need that. And then I'm going to cut this off so I can do the food at the same time. That's why I love these long plates. You can do both at the same time. So here's the doggy. I just need a little piece. Ooh, let's use one of these. I have some of this paper right here that we can use. This craft paper will be great for his food. And then we'll just put his food right there. And we'll cut this out. Oh, we're going to do the bone too. Let's do the bone at the same time. That way we only have to cut once. There's the doggy food. I should do the bone in this color too. Why not? There's the doggy bone. We might as well do them all, right? While we have it out. And we just put it in here, cut these little guys out, and we will have it all done. I like this die cut machine, but it does not stay in one spot. It does not, the suction cups don't work very good. Oh my goodness. It even cuts out the little paw print. How cute is that? Look. I need my little poker tool. Oh, I already got them. They just fell right out. Good job. Here's our doggy bone. It'll look really cute with our sentiment, I think. Now, with the doggy bowl, if you want to, you can cut a second one of the back piece. If you want to put, depending on how you want to put the food in there, because of the cute little paw print right there, we put the dog food in there. I'm afraid it might show. Oh no, it doesn't. How great is that? So it just slides right in there, the little dog food, and then you can just slide some glue under there. Glue that food in there. And then this one on the back to hold it down. So I think I'll put it on this. That'll just make everything easier. So I'm going to actually pick this up, put them together right here. Now I have different colors in there, so the little paw print might be a different color, but I think I'm okay with that. I think I knocked his food down into his bowl. Yep, I did. There we go. Then you just line them up once you have them where you want them. You could use your Copics to add a little bit of accent in that food if you want. But I think I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to press it together. Isn't that cute? Look at that. Bling the dog bone. Okay, we can do that. I got a new, I got some new stuff where we can try that. How about that? All right, so I got some new, let me grab it out of my bin over here that I haven't put away my new stuff yet. I usually do that right away, but I did not. So, and I got a lot of stuff, so give me a second to find my... Here it is. Okay, I've never used this. I was hoping I would like this. This is called Sheer Shimmer Stick Dauber Top Sparkle. So it's just a dauber. And when you go over it, it should make it sparkle. So let's use this excess paper so don't get it all over my desk. Oh wow, you don't even need a whole lot of that. Don't press hard. But it's gonna, when it dries, it's gonna put sparkle on the bone, which would be really cool. Let's put some on the food too. Why not, right? We gotta make his food sparkle. We gotta make all his food sparkle then. I didn't know if it would work or how cute it would be, and I just thought I'd try it. See if I can get it to dry real quick. I don't know that I can see it shimmering too much yet, but it's still wet. I see it a little bit. So unfortunately, you can't see it quite as well on there as you can on the other paper until it dries, but that's okay because we can do the rest of what we're gonna do while it's drying. I'm gonna put a little bit on white so you can really see what it does. But I wanna use my white gel pen real quick on the little doghouse area. So like, and we gotta put our sentiment on. So like right here, I think just showing the opening a little bit more, and then just a few little dots, just so you can see. I wish I had put the base on there, but you know, it is what it is, and no one's gonna really know that except you guys who watched me. I missed this piece. I'm disappointed I missed it. But it happens, and there really isn't anything I can do about it because it's already stuck. I mean, I could put it back here, but that doesn't really do its job. So, yeah, not gonna happen. All right, let me grab white real quick. I should have done this while I had the paper out, but we're just gonna measure this real quick so I can cut a white card for the inside so we can decorate it too, because we, you know, why not? But this is cute. I really like this. Okay, so inside here it measures 3 by 3.5, and then about 4.5. So let's do 3.5 by 4.5. Ooh wee! That's the wrong card. I can't show you guys that yet. Okay, 3.5 by 4.5. Yeah, we're gonna really wing this. I hope it's gonna work. This is gonna be eyeballing it and hoping it works, because I just want a paper for inside here. Yeah, so we need it smaller than that. About right. Okay, so maybe more like 3. Ah, great. 3 works. And then what I'm going to do is just take my pencil and I'm just going to mark like approximately where that would be for me to cut that edge off, and where the top, where the center top is. And then I'm just going to cut like this and hope that it works. This is how my mind works. I just make stuff up as I go along. But hey, look at that. It works. So you saw how I did that. That's how I would do it if I were you. That's how I would measure to try to put that in there. And then all I have to do is erase this little spot I put on there, or flip it over. Either way works. And then we're going to glue that in. So now I really can write something in there like happy birthday or have a great day or whatever I want to put in there. Perfect. Let's move it over just a tad. Just a tad. I'm off just a little. Yeah, I think I needed to cut it a little bit more on this side. So we're going to do it like this. Because, you know, I'm that brave. Because I want the top part right there to line up. That's what's important to me. I don't want it to look crazy. So, there we go. Almost. We're slightly off right here. See that? Look, I'm not afraid. I do anything and it'll work. Or I'll figure out something to do to fix it. Yeah, I'm a little brave like that. Not gonna lie. Forgetting the bottom piece, no one will notice. Like you said, they will see. They won't notice because they won't know. But when they get the die set, they'll be even that much more surprised because they'll get one more extra die, which will be great. Let's put his cute little food dish in here. You can kind of see the sparkle. I didn't put that much on this one, so I'll show you on the bone. I can kind of see the sparkle now that it dried, but I can really see it on the white over there, really sparkling it up. So that's on the inside. It's got a little sparkle to it. Yeah, you can't really see that. And it doesn't look bad without the bottom piece anyway, so I think we're okay. Yeah, so it's sparkling, but you can't really see it a whole lot. It's just on there a little bit, but that's okay. I kind of wanted to put it like that, but then the sentiment's going to mess it up. Unless we just don't put a sentiment on the outside and we only put the bone on the outside. Maybe we can put his name on there. Wouldn't that be funny? You could write your dog's name on there. And then we could put this on the inside. That works. Let's do that. Look, I make the decision and then commit. That's how you get it done quick. Just make that decision and then commit to it. Look, I'm gonna write his name on there. I'm gonna write Kona on there. I'm gonna handwrite it too. Hold on, I need to use this other pen because I'm not shy like that. This is Kona's house. And then, since we have a couple of seconds, let's just put some bling on Kona's house. Let's see, what do I want to use? I might want to use... Oh, I know. This one. This is what I want to put on there. It's a little heart. It's cute. You can't really see it that well, though. I think that's the only one I'd want to put on there is the little heart. So let's do a smaller heart. And we can put it in the doorway or over the door. Look how cute that is. I think we should put it up at the top, like right up here. I think that would be cute. Let's do that. Make that decision and commit. That's all it takes. A little heart here. I hate when I do that because I should just be using this picker tool. I don't know why I don't do that. I think my brain just doesn't go straight to this picker tool, and I wish it would. All right, let's press it down a little bit, just so we get a good hold on there. When it dries, it'll dry clear and we'll be good to go. That was an easy die to use. I could see myself making a whole bunch of them. So on this paper, I bet you can see the sparkle. Let's see if you can see the sparkle. Oh no, you guys can't really see the sparkle on this either, but I promise you, it is sparkling up a storm. You just can't see it on camera. Look at how cute that is. So here's what we have in the end. If you want, you can have this on your house. It comes with that die. Or you have this cute, look at how cute this purple paper is. It's so adorable. And then I open it up so I can write on the inside. And then this part lifts up and you have a gift card in there. How cute is that? That is so cute. I love it. Put some on black paper. Oh, put some of that sparkly stuff on black paper. You want to see what it looks like on the black paper? I can do that. I have black paper right here. Also, sometimes when you first open them, they need just a little bit of using them a bit before you can really see the sparkle. I bet you can see it on that one. Look at that. Yeah, there you go. Now you can really see it. It sparkles like crazy, huh? That's really cool. So I think the die set was like $27.99. And you can get it at scrappyboy.com. Scrappyboy.com. It's the Doghouse A2 gift card holder. So this fits in an A2 envelope so you can mail it just like that. Isn't that super fun? I love it. I'm glad we decided to do that. And you guys got to make it with me for the first time. So this was the first time I'd ever made it either. And it was really fun. And if you like that one, you're really going to like the other ones that I got coming up. Because I bought quite a few of his dies. Look at that. It's awesome. I love it. I love it. Here's the dog set. If you don't have yours yet, you might want to grab it in the shop. We still have the bundle up if you decide you want the dogs and the cats and the paper and the stencils and all the things. The bundle is still up at a discounted rate, so you are more than welcome to grab that before it goes away and goes all to regular price. I'm so glad you guys joined me here tonight. I hope you like that. I am going to upload it to YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. We are really trying to get more subscribers, so please help us out with that. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, or you guys who are watching live, you know you can always DM me. I'll be more than happy to help you with any questions you have or concerns. And I will be back again on Tuesday next week at 8 Central. And thank you so much for joining me. I love you guys. Have a great evening, and I will see you next week. Good night.